To begin with, Jason Blossom was dead as a doornail. One month later, Christmas Eve.
So, do you think she did it, Arch?
The Bradbury Hotel, Vermont.
What? Do I think Cheryl Blossom hacked her brother to death with a machete? Is that seriously what you're asking me?
Completely serially? I mean, there was always something weird and twincesty about the Blossom sibs, you gotta admit. Maybe it finally got to be too much, and Cheryl went all "I spit on your grave" on Jason. You know, I've never seen that movie, and now I probably never will. Oh man, it's like Last House on the Left, but even crazier. More misogynistic. You weren't with us when we all watched it at Reggie's. Like, in the 8th grade?
No. I think I had the chicken pox or something. Anyways, that's not how Cheryl says it went down. She says a zombie snuck up on them in the woods and surprised them, and Jason threw himself at it to protect her. Although, hearing myself say those words out loud, it doesn't exactly sound like something Jason Blossom would do.
Well, there you go, Arch. That's my whole point. Occam's razor. The simplest answer is usually the right one. Jason and Cheryl went into the woods, and only Cheryl came back alive, covered in blood, holding a bloody machete. Ergo, Cheryl killed Jason.
Or devil's advocate. It's like Cheryl said, and the zombie killed Jason. Then Cheryl killed the zombie, and that's where all the blood came from.
Come on, dude. Stop trying to convince yourself. In your heart of hearts, you know what you believe.
I guess I do, Jughead, even though it's not what I want to believe.
Yeah, it sucks to imagine that one of the hottest girls in town is potentially a machete murderer. By the way, do you want another one of these?
Yeah, but this time, can you make it a float?
No prob. I found some ice cream in the walk-in freezer. Chocolate okay?
Chocolate's great.
So, what happened after Cheryl showed up at camp like that? All Apocalypse Now-ish.
We were frozen. None of us knew what to do until my mom said,
Let's get you cleaned up. Betty, Veronica, a little help, please.
Yes, Miss Andrews.
Nancy, will you bring us some hot water and clean towels?
Your mom is epic. Here you go. 2 scoops.
it was the first time since what happened with my dad that she seemed like her old self.
And then? After Cheryl has been debloodified.
You're in shock, believe me, I know the feeling. But you need to drink water. You need to hydrate.
Mr. Lodge came back from his hunting expedition, and I told him about the blossoms.
Good God, I leave you people alone for half an hour, and you descend into barbarism.
Which led to one of our classic throwdowns.
We cannot, will not, have a murderer in our midst.
So what? We just leave her behind? Alone? How long do you think she'd last?
Based on her handiness with a machete, quite a while. Forgive me, Andrews. I'm not worried about her. I'm worried about us.
Me too. Leaving people behind isn't what we do.
We? For God's sakes, look around you. We are not the same people we once were, until you accept that we're doomed. And the hideous irony is we should be back at the manor, safe and warm, awaiting for rescue, had you not forced us to leave. How many wrong-headed decisions will you make? How many more lives will be lost?
Harsh.
Super harsh. Although, Mr. Lodge was right about one thing, Jug. In that moment, I didn't know who we were becoming. Only that figuring out what to do with Cheryl was too big a decision for any single one of us to do, so... Alright. We should vote.
Okay, that's hardcore.
Super hardcore, but... I mean, can you think of a better option?
No. No, that makes sense. Survivor style.
Yeah, that's where I got the idea. Also, from when Miss Grundy made us read Lord of the Flies. So that's what we did. And Cheryl waited in a tent. The rest of us stood, in judgment on her. Smithers has index cards I'm gonna pass around. Don't write your name on them, just write stays or goes. That's...
No. No secret ballots. We're jurors in a jury room. Complete transparency is essential at this point. I vote for the safety of our group. I vote we leave Cheryl Blossom to her own devices. And may God have mercy on her soul.
I stand by my father on this one. Cheryl's always been a thorn in our sides. Let's finally pluck it.
Where the Lodge family goes, I, Hubert Smithers, go.
Thank you, Smithers. Your earlier lapse in judgment isn't forgiven, but this is a step towards atonement.
This story is filling me with such dread, Archie. And I was turned into a freaking zombie by Hot Dog.
That's 3. She goes. Reggie?
We've all done some pretty unforgivable shit in our lives. Plus, who knows, it might be up to us to repopulate the planet. At this point, Blaze could be my best and only shot at getting some play. I vote we keep the freak fest, but put her on a leash.
Okay, Reggie, you're a disgusting pig. But I vote Cheryl stays too. This is still America. You're still innocent until proven guilty.
3. She goes. 2. She stays. Chuck, Nancy, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, what would this vote be like if it were me or Chuck in Cheryl's place? Would there even be a vote?
This is not the time for hypotheticals, Miss Woods. Does she stay or go? It's that simple.
For people like you, it always is. I vote we leave her behind. So does Chuck.
5. She goes. 2. She's...
3. She stays.
Better make that 4. My mommy used to tell us the story of how my tia killed one of her brothers because he was messing with her. And she never hurt anyone else. She was my godmother even.
5 to 4. Kevin?
Abstaining.
A conscientious objector? No, unacceptable. This isn't Canada. You have to.
Actually, my dad died in the Gulf War protecting my right to abstain from disputes that have nothing to do with me, so I'll say it again. My beau and I abstain.
Vote stands. 5 to 4. Mom?
I won't leave any child behind. The vote is tied 5 to 5.
Who's left? Who hasn't voted?
That would be me, Mr. Lodge. And guess what?
Oh man, he's gonna kill you one day. You know that, right?
For sure. But I want to believe in us, Jughead. Maybe I'm naive, but I want to believe we're Riverdale. As much as that town we left in flames. Me, Betty, Veronica, Kevin, you! Even though you're dead, we're Riverdale. I mean, aren't we?
How's Blaze been?
Fine, basically. There was that one weird thing that happened right when we got here. That first night, after we picked out rooms, I was helping Betty get settled and...
Sorry to interrupt. But can you follow me, please?
Sure, Blaze. What's up?
Not you. Betty. Just us girls.
I'll be back.
Betty said she followed Cheryl into one of the hotel parlors where the other girls, only the girls, and my mom were waiting.
Well, now that all the pretty little liars are here.
Look, I know you guys think I'm crazy.
Stark raving, in fact.
I don't want to tell the boys. I don't think I could handle the jokes. And believe me, Reggie would have a field day with this. But I do think... I'm sorry, this is just... It's hard, but I do think you deserve an explanation. And to hear the truth about me and Jason.
Dude, don't leave me hanging. What was it? What did she say?
Betty wouldn't tell me. She just came back to the room, ashen-faced, and asked,
Do you believe in evil, Archie?
Evil? You mean like evil? I don't know, why?
Because I'm starting to.
Betty.
I'm really, really starting to.
Whatever Cheryl told Betty and the other girls that night, it did something not even the zombies had been able to do. It took away Betty's innocence, Jughead. It took away her hope. I so wanted to make it better for her, but I had no idea what to say to her.
For reals? I don't buy that, Arch. I think you knew exactly what you needed to say, man. Man, you were just too scared to say it. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Jughead. How come we're talking? Am I going crazy, or are you...
I'm a ghost, Archie.
Yeah, I figured as much. At this point, nothing shocks me. But, like, why am I seeing you now?
Maybe because it's Christmas time and ghosts get, bumpy around Christmas? You know, the whole Jacob Marley effect? Anyone else in the gang experiencing any paranormal activity?
In fact, the Bradbury's been haunted since it opened the doors in 1908. It's always been one of those liminal places around the world where the dead mix with the living. Case in point, the week before Christmas, before Archie Andrews found himself chatting with his dear dead friend Jughead Jones over root beer floats. Reggie Mantle was rooting through the hotels lost and found, looking for God knows what. The skateboard's wheels needed oiling, but otherwise it was in good shape. The halls of the Bradbury were long, perfect for cruising. If Reggie was thinking about keeping his balance, he wasn't thinking about other things. Nastier things. Darker truths. Matters of evil.
Hot dog? No. Wait. Hot dog. Oh my god.
No. No paranormal activity I'm aware of.
You might want to ask Reggie how he's been sleeping lately.
Wait, dude. Are you messing with Mantle's mind?
Believe me, Reggie deserves it.
Archie? Who are you talking to, honey?
Huh? Oh, Mom, I was just, to myself. Coping mechanism to deal with this cabin fever, I guess. You look amazing.
Why, this old thing? I found it in the dry cleaners. This hotel has its own dry cleaners. I thought it's Christmas, so why not put on something red for the party? Found a nice jacket and tie for you, too. Laid them out in your room.
Walking there.
Worried, Mr. Lodge may have been right. That maybe it was a mistake to leave Riverdale.
Because of all this Cheryl business. No, that would have happened no matter what, Archie. In the woods, in the Lodge Manor, there's only one way that story was going to end, son.
It's so messed up and confusing, Mom. It was so safe. Riverdale, I mean. And then it just wasn't.
I know it seemed that way, but... Oh, Archie, I'm not sure it was ever as safe as you'd like to believe. There was a story. No, never mind.
What? What story?
My grandmother told it to me once. It was a snowy night like this one, right after Christmas. I was playing with the puppy Santa had just brought me Spotty. And Grandmother Beatrice declared out of the blue,
"You don't know how lucky you are, Mary. You don't know what that luck cost our family."
And she started telling me about the war, when all of Riverdale's young men were drafted or enlisted. Some of them hadn't even finished high school and they boarded the bus that would take them to the army base in Centerville, and then 6 weeks later to the battlefields of Europe. It's what young men did back then, my grandmother said. Riverdale was barely a town, just starting out, and so many of those young men died. Archie, it must have felt like Riverdale died with them, the promise of it, the hope of it. My grandmother said that some of the mothers and fathers of Riverdale's founding families met one Christmas night in the basement of Town Hall when there were more children buried up at the cemetery than on the streets caroling. And they wondered what could be done to protect Riverdale, to protect its children. And one of them asked,
"What about the witches of Greendale? Can they do anything?"
And the grown-ups agreed it was worth a trip. So Agnes Cooper, Franklin Andrews, and Forsyth Jones, the first, went to Greendale and met with 2 witches who lived there.
"Oh yes, we can do something. We can make it so the children of Riverdale will be safe, always. So whatever horrors devour the outside world, your town will remain untouched, preserved."
That's what we want. And in return? Because there's always something needed in return, isn't there?
"You'll have to pledge something to us. One child from each of you for the next, say, 3 generations, as tribute to those who will protect you. The elder gods, the lords of Carcosa. Come. What matters 3 children? That's just one from each of you, to safeguard the rest, including any others you might have forever."
We will have to discuss.
No, we won't. It's done. We agree.
It's a story, Archie. My grandmother only told it to me once, and when I asked her about it later, she insisted I was making the whole thing up. Curious, though. As safe and almost cocooned as Riverdale became from that night on, certain things did happen. For instance, I never met him, of course, but your great-uncle Arthur died when he was 13. He fell through some ice on Shadow Lake and drowned. And then the next generation, Alice's sister Annie, when she was 14. She died in that terrible fire down at the roller rink. One child from each family over 3 generations. Insidious, those witches. First us, the Andrews, then the Coopers.
That would leave the Joneses, and the third generation would be mine. Wait, are you saying?
I'm not saying anything. It's a terrible story to remember at Christmas time. I don't even know why I brought it up.
But couldn't it be... I mean, don't you think that was Jughead was the third sacrifice?
I think my grandmother, who liked a lot of rum in her eggnog, let's remember, would say that the witches preferred their children younger.
Swank jacket.
Archie? It was right to leave Riverdale when we did. No looking back, son.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright.
That way lies madness. See you downstairs.
In the main parlor, a ghostly vigil.
Round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
I miss Christmas.
Yeah, it's not the same, Jellybean, is it?
And orange popsicles, and buying school supplies with Mom, and cartoons on Saturday mornings, and going to Sears with Dad, and riding the tractors.
I miss Pop's bacon cheeseburgers, and that extra buttered popcorn at the Bayou, and Mama John's deep dish pepperoni and mushroom, and hot dog. I miss hugging that dumb mutt. I miss his smell. I miss his stupid slobber. I miss him waking me up every morning for a walk. Were you scared, Jelly Belly? When they came for you? The witches, I mean.
It was. At first I was. But then the ladies were nice about it. They took me to this school by the ocean, where there were all these other kids.
Oh, Jellybean, I wish.
Oh my gosh, look, it's Archie. He's so cute.
Yeah, and you always had a crush on him, didn't you?
He looks like a grown-up now.
That's because he is grown up now. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, Jellybean.
What? Do I think Cheryl Blossom hacked her brother to death with a machete?
For God's sakes, look around you. We are not the same people we once were, until you accept that, we're doomed.
And so many of those young men died. Archie, it must have felt like Riverdale died with them. The promise of it, the hope of it.
Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight.
It was right to leave Riverdale when we did. No looking back, son.
Do you believe in evil, Archie? Because I'm starting to.
It took away Betty's innocence, Jughead. It took away her hope. Maybe I'm naive, but I want to believe we're Riverdale. As much as that town we left in flames.
Glory stream from heaven above.
Me, Betty, Veronica, Kevin, you. Even though you're dead, we're Riverdale. I so wanted to make it better for her, but I had no idea what to say to her.
Archie, you okay?
I don't buy that, Arch. I think you knew exactly what you needed to say, man. You were just too scared to say it. I mean, It's not rocket science.
Marry me, Betty. Be my wife.
I thought you were going to say Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah, that too. Merry Christmas. And in answer to the earlier question, Betty, I believe in good. And I believe in you. I believe you make us all better human beings.
You're my everything, Archie. Of course I'll marry you. But not until after my 18th birthday.
3 months. Not a problem, Betty.
Next, Reggie.